On va enchaîner directement avec le 4e témoignage de la journée sous la thématique du rôle de l'encadrant. Je pourrais même rajouter de l'encadrement, voire même de l'environnement dans la création d'une start-up. Et pour cela, je vais inviter Slava Maslin, post-doctorant, Claude Bocara, professeur émérite à l'ESPCI Paris, à l'origine du projet Sharpeye. Vous pouvez me rejoindre. C'est un témoignage, Bon, allez-y, on va changer. Je vous en prie, asseyez-vous. C'est un témoignage qu'on va faire à nouveau en anglais, donc je vais changer de langue dès à présent pour la suite de nos aventures. Thank you very much, Claude, Slava, to be with us today. How are you feeling? How are you happy to be with us on stage?
A new experience.
New experience?
We are happy because we see people that share many problems with us.
So great, we are going to dive into this by exploring your story, the story of both of you in the Sharpeye adventure. But before to start to talk about Sharpeye, I just wanted to let people the chance to know you better. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to demystify a bit your story and how you have met each other. So first of all, Slava, so you were studying fundamental physics, if I'm saying right, and you had the wish to have an impact, right?
Yes.
So how was the way until you met Claude?
Yeah. So in certain sense, you can say that with Claude, we unconsciously were searching for each other. So on my side, I am, in some sense, I'm a child of PSL University. I was going through the program that was called the PSL ITI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it exists now, but essentially it was a one-year program which took you as a master student that was trained hardly in science and tried to convert you to become an entrepreneur, teach you about IP, about all this kind of stuff. And as part of this project, you need to find internship. And I was exactly searching for some place, some lab that would have some fundamental research, but would be, trying to apply it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I met Claude.
Okay.
And on another hand, it was for Claude. It was there was a big project that time in the lab that was ERC Synergy. It was a project between Institute Langevin, where I was, and the Cansavan Hospital and Institut de la Vision.
Okay.
And essentially, there was the Institut Langevin. It was the Institute of Optics, Institute of Waves, and so more like scientific one. And Institut de la Vision is Institute of the Vision of the Eye. And so the idea was to make some devices for batch diagnostics in the eye. And so they were searching for PhD student as well.
So you started by doing the your PhD.
It was
Claude,
it was first internship, and then that was converted to PhD.
So Claude, now, so you had previous experience in entrepreneurship, in startup. So can you tell us a little bit more how for you it's important the environment and how it was with Slava at the beginning of this adventure?
Yes, this question is really a good one because we really, you see, it's written the role of encadrant, but really there is more than that. There is the role of the surrounding. Mm-hmm. And I should say that at SPCI, there is a tradition to make startup. Yeah. And even in our lab that is called Institut Langevin, there are more than 10, 12 startups that has been made. And so it's really, we are really basic physicists, but we try to jump each time we think that there is an application. And so now, as I said, there is the group, the lab, ESPCI, PSL, and all this is a world that stimulates the creation of startups.
Great. So how do you see maybe yourself into this ecosystem? So how did you help Slava and both of you to to raise and to start the adventure? Of
May I say that I did not help him so much, but you know, there was a goal. The name of the startup is Sharp Eye. We tried to look at the eye at a very high resolution compared to what is available today. And it was a risky topic for a PhD student.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, he succeeded, he made a breakthrough, and then we decided to jump. But really, I don't say that the role is really the surrounding. There is a spirit at SPCI, for instance, I should underline.
Great. So Slava, maybe on your side, do you want to share a little bit of your...
Yeah, I can say also from the side of the
Yeah.
PhD student.
That's what's interesting.
It's I think it's a lot about the the hierarchy on the system, because there was really in all my experience there was no verticality. It was really horizontal on the level of professor and PhD student. So it was really focused. You have some problem to solve, and it's like it's not that the boss does all the management and student does all the technical things. It's frequently during this research we flipped the roles. Sometimes I was doing the patent and organization or looking what markets could it be adopted, and Claude was calculating what is the lenses that we have to put in the optical system to make better imaging. So it really was like this all the time, and the tasks are assigned to the best one who can do it, like at this moment in time.
Great. So that's a real example of complementarity and agile complementarity on that.
Exactly.
So you said it right before. So you had to do a patent, and you were a fundamental physicist, if I'm saying it right. So how did you start to make patent? Were you followed? Were you mentored to do that?
No, I think it's essentially maybe it's a startup spirit. You have a problem and then you just try to solve it yourself. and I think this approach pushed us quite far on this. So it's not only limited to the startup writing. It's really like if there's a problem, we try to do our best to solve it. If we cannot solve it, we try to find someone who knows someone in our ecosystem that solved this problem. Or
so which kind of ecosystem did you get to help you on?
So it would be then at least for us.
No. In fact, when you have a patent, the most important thing is what are the claims. So we try to write something to help the patent office to go directly to this problem. And our patent were taken with PSL on the eye. And so
I would say
yes, we found a good patent office. And not always. Sometimes we have to fight.
Yeah, but in general, it's all the connections of so Institut Langevin, ESPCI, PSL in general, and also Institut de la Vision and the hospital. Always different people, depending on what's the task.
What was good for this is the link with the hospital.
Yeah.
And as Slava mentioned, the fact that the European program called Synergy was inducing a collaboration between two labs that were ignoring each other before.
So there is another question I wanted to ask you, because this is also something that we can see on the other side. What could be, or have you seen it, an advantage or a known benefit of a lab doing and building startups? Do you have some benefit back into the lab with this?
I think that because of that, our lab is attracting a lot of very good PhD students.
And you had several in your lab, right? A startup.
Yeah.
So do you think this is the processing of mentoring and all the ecosystem that attracts more and more talents in your lab?
Yeah, definitely. I think it gives a good image of a lab.
Great. So what is next now? So if we come back to Sharp Eye, so Sharp Eye, you say this is a device that enables us to see the cells in the eye that was not done before. So in which step you are right now, and what is the future for Sharp Eye?
Yeah, so right now we are our device is in the hospital, so we are getting images from normal eyes and patients. So still there are many diseases, many applications, like in the eye, and we are still looking for the highest potential. Like just recently, we found that our device also can be a potential biomarker for glaucoma, which is really missing right now in the scheme of the ophthalmology.
This could be the killing application if we succeed.
Yes, so we are working right now on this one, and it's in parallel we are doing the works that are for the startup to raise funding and look for potential IP to protect and so on.
Great. Claude, I don't know if you told me, but are you now? I don't know if you still work in the lab, but yeah. Are you fully dedicated?
I'm emeritus professor. That means that the lab is open for me.
So because you
my wife is agrees to that.
So are you fully dedicated in this startup, or you still have the other one to go with?
Mostly on the eye now, and some new technique that we try to develop.
That's really great. Thank you very much for both of you
for sharing
for the
invitation.
this.
Thank you.
We can applaud them again. Thank you.